I'm definitely a futurist. I've seen it in some capacity in my life anyway, and so I for sure want to see the future.
Yeah, based on that movie synopsis that you gave me, it has to be the future. Going on vacation, planner or follower?
Ooh, planner for sure. I'm a little too type A to be a follower.
Hey there, and welcome to Impact After Hours, where changemakers sign off from work and log into life. I'm Camille Lorente, co-founder and CEO of Human Group Media, and your host. Today, I'm excited to find out what Bayyina Black, Executive Global Director of Sustainability and Impact at RGA, is really like off-duty. RGA is a consultancy, digital design, and advertising agency. Bayyina created RGA's first-of-its-kind pro bono initiative, Make Good for Business. It's a program that provides BIPOC entrepreneurs access to a range of services like marketing, branding, and strategy to help drive their business growth. In 2024, during the International Decade for People of African Descent, Bayyina was honored as one of the top 100 most influential people in the world under 40. But that's not all. Bayyina is also a photographer, graphic designer, art director, filmmaker, and get this, a licensed drone pilot. She has traveled to 12 countries in 1 year, ran with the Bulls in Spain, and has been featured on a Times Square billboard not once, but twice. Thank you so much for joining me today, Bayyina.
Thanks so much for having me, Camille. Wow, you make me sound really good.
So we had a great problem with, researching and, looking into your bio because there was so much there, right? It was so stacked. And the good problem to have is that which ones do we highlight? Yeah. So actually on the subject of you being an overachiever, is that fine to say?
It's fine.
We need to embrace it. So there's so much you've accomplished, but I feel like you have only, you just started, and there's so much more that we're going to see from you. So I'm curious about this one project that you're doing. So it's a VR social impact film. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? Like, what's the story there?
Yeah, sure. So the project was quite a while ago. It was with my partner, Dakil, one of my creative partners. And we did this in, I think it was 2016. And he was a part of New Ink, which is an incubator program with the New Museum. And we were exploring the relationship between VR and real life and how we could help to solve some challenges. And so the project was called Wave Rider, and it followed a paraplegic dancer and choreographer. Her name was Alice from the UK, but she's been living here for a while. And we looked at some of the challenges that she had with getting around the city. A lot of New York is not accessible for not just people who utilize wheelchairs, but 1/3 of the country is disabled at any given time, whether or not it's for medical reasons or permanent reasons. And so we followed her around and we mapped the New York transportation system to see just how she navigated it. And we really wanted to give a first-person view of some of the challenges that she experienced getting around. So it was a really great project, learned a ton, and, really got to understand what some of the challenges that people go through on a day-to-day basis that able-bodied people don't experience here.
Well, first off, I know that must have been a huge undertaking, and it's so needed and it's so critical for you to highlight that story. But, one of your many hats is a filmmaker. So on the subject of films, if you were to write a movie script about your career, Bayyina, what do you envision to be the opening scene and the final scene?
Yeah, I love this question. So, the opening scene would be me in a cubicle
Okay.
in probably 2010, and I have a state of panic and frustration on my face. And I feel like I just got like a death sentence, realizing that this is my life. That's how I felt when I first got out of college. And I was working in advertising in a very different capacity. And so that would be the opening scene. And you would hear like this voiceover saying like, is this it? I worked so hard for this to be in this cubicle. And so that would be the opening scene, and me just trying to figure out how I was going to navigate this new reality of being a recent graduate in this industry that, you know, I had fell in love with when I was in college, and then I was second guessing it, you know, when I actually got into the industry full time.
So I feel like if that's the opening scene, a lot of people that can resonate with a ton of people, you know, who are just entering the workforce, and, you know, there's some disillusionment there, and then there's some anxiety, all of that. But what would be the final scene, do you think?
Yeah, the final scene would be me accepting an Oscar for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And I'm giving a really great speech. I have a beautiful golden shimmery gown on.
Yes.
And outside there are like thousands of mini drones that form to say, congratulations, Bayyina. And they also form my face.
Wow.
And then it would be fireworks in the skies, and then it would just fade out. And that's how I see my career ending.
I mean, first of all, that's a beautiful scene. Potentially high budget is required for this movie. So we start off with just you in a cubicle, and then like it progresses.
For sure.
So it's time to find out, Bayyina, who you are off the clock. And we will start off with a lightning round of seemingly random questions. Are you ready to play with me?
I'm ready.
Personal style. Are you a minimalist or a maximalist?
Maximalist, 100%.
Would you rather visit the past or the future?
The future, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely a futurist, and I've seen it in some capacity in my life anyway, and so I'd for sure want to see the future.
And yeah, based on that movie synopsis that you gave me, it has to be the future. Going on vacation, planner or follower?
Ooh, planner for sure. I'm a little too type A to be a follower.
What kind of planner are you, Bayyina? Let's say we were going to go on vacation together. Everything is prepped?
Not necessarily, because I am an avid traveler, and I've traveled so much that I know, you know, the flow of trips and things. But the first thing I do is just find out what type of traveler you are and what your interests are, and then also share like what typically happens on a trip with me. And so it very much depends on like, have I been to the place before, or is it a new place to me? Is it a new place to you? Why are we going? You know, so I'm very intentional in terms of the why prior. And then that indicates how I plan the trip, and whether or not it's like chill and we like hit up some spots, or, you know, it's very like detail oriented, like why are we going?
Yeah. So I think you hit the right word, which was intentional, which I feel like if, you know, you were, let's say, going on a group trip and it was planned by someone else, or, you know, you actually paid, you know, a professional, you know, travel planner, you wouldn't get that like personal touch. So I love that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Last question. Favorite meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Breakfast for sure. I love pancakes, and I love making breakfast too. Ever since I was a kid.
So pancakes, like just classic, or?
Yeah, just classic. pancakes, but I make really good home potatoes. I learned from my mom. And so I can eat breakfast any time of day. It's hands down my favorite meal.
Well, that's the end of the lightning round.
Yeah.
But we have so much more ground to cover. Okay. What color is your aura today, Bayyina?
Ooh, such a good question. I think the first thing that I saw when you asked that question was kind of like a periwinkle bluish color. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And why do you think, like in terms of today, that might be your aura?
Because I think I need to stay calm. You know, like I'm a little bit tired because I was up late last night working, you know, and then just needing to jump into today and trying to check off a lot of things on my list because it's a really busy next 2 weeks for me. And so I have a trip coming up. And so I need to remain calm. And I think that's, you know, why the periwinkle blue is showing up to keep me calm and centered.
Wow. I remember our previous conversation, but I'm curious to know what is the most used app on your phone?
Normally it's WhatsApp for sure. Like I can't live without WhatsApp, but right now it's funny because it's an app that blocks apps. It's called Opal. And that app, we are like in lockstep right now. Like there are so many different blockers that I have to just keep me off my phone. I'm really trying to, I'm a paper person and I love writing. I have so many notebooks and planners and things and pens and markers. Like I have an art studio at home.
Wow.
It's kind of wild. So I like to be in my books and I'm really trying to stay off my phone and not doom scroll or get too distracted. I'd say between WhatsApp is like my go-to that I use all the time, but Opal to block all the other apps.
Yeah. So, if you could see one of your dream musical artists live, who would it be?
Oh, it's such a good question. Well, I'm actually going to go see one. Gilberto Gil. He is a really famous Brazilian singer, and that's actually why I'm going back to Brazil in less than 2 weeks to go see him. He's like 81 or 82, and this is his last tour, and I'm going to the first stop of his last tour. And I ironically have not seen him perform, but he was top 2 on my list of people who I really wanted to see. So I was like, I cannot miss it. He's from Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, where I used to live. And that's the first stop on the tour. And so it's going to be so meaningful. And I'm really excited about it.
Wow. And so I feel like you've also lived in Brazil, right? And so you're a fan of the music and you're seeing this artist live. What do you have like a pre-concert ritual? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, it's such a good question. Not necessarily. I don't have a pre-concert ritual. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Yes, I do. I typically will listen to as many songs as I can, and I'll listen to the artist like before the concert to make sure that I know the words to the song, especially in Brazil because it's all in Portuguese. And Brazilians, one thing that I love about Brazilians and concerts in Brazil is they love to sing along, just like me. I will sing to the top of my lungs when I know a song, okay? And it's literally like a choir. The entire like stadium or wherever the concert is happening, everybody's singing. And when you don't know the songs, you can feel really left out. And so I'd say my concert ritual is to listen to especially the popular songs. And then like if I don't know all the words, I'll look up the lyrics and like I'll read them to make sure I know the words so that I don't feel left out.
Yes.
The day of the concert.
Okay, on to the next one. If you created a vision board for yourself this year, what are 5 things that would be on it?
The first one is the word focus. And I'm going to explain why after I give the list. So the word focus is the first one. The hashtag, I have a hashtag for this year. It's hashtag win 2025. A photo of a villa in Bali would be the third thing. The Northern Lights would be the fourth thing. And a couple taking a walk in the park would be the fifth thing. And so the reason why focus is number one is because I have so much going on that I am really focused on focusing. The next thing, win 2025, like I'm very focused on like doing my best in whatever it means to win that day or that week or that month or that quarter. Like I'm focused on that. The next thing, Bali. Bali is the number one country on my list that I want to go to. So I'm actually doing a Vipassana meditation retreat right before my birthday in April there. So that's why that would be on the board. Northern Lights, another one that's top of the list. I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. 2024 and 2025 are the best years to see it. And then a couple walking in the park. I always say like I've never been in like a proper adult relationship, and so it's something that I very much want. And I've focused on friendship and how I show up in community a lot for about 3 years, and now I'm moving into a different phase of focusing on romantic relationships and like working out like some of my triggers and things in therapy. But that's why the couple would be on there, because I really hope to manifest that this year.
Well, first off, Bali is beautiful. So if you go, I'd love to hear about that trip, but also the other stuff on your vision board, maybe a part 2 of this interview, and we can check in, Bayyina, on how everything is going. And, would love for all of those to start manifesting. And you already mentioned it, like it's still early in the year, but you've seen some of those come to fruition. So we'll see, maybe even the couple walking in the park, right? Or I would love to know about that. Fingers crossed. You know what?
I will let you know, okay?
Put it on the board.
It's on the board.
So we're actually down to our last question, Bayyina, believe it or not. I feel like we went around the world.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like we did.
I love it.
In the short amount of time that we've been, chatting. But what is your go-to after hours media, Bayyina? Is there anything that you've been watching or listening to or reading lately?
Yeah, I'm reading a new book. It's new to me. It's called Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. And I'm enjoying reading fiction again.
Yes.
Because I bike to work and like bike around, that I don't necessarily have the same type of commute that I used to of being on the train. It's rare I'm on the train now. And so I'm really enjoying reading at home. I'm making it a point to do that. And I'm trying to like cut my screen time down too, and not just like binge watch and never get off the couch because I have way too much to do. But I'm actually reading like 5 books right now.
Wow.
I'm reading like the Black Experience in Design, Before I Let Go, and some other ones too that I'm just kind of rotating, but the fiction is what I'm enjoying the most right now. Before we let you go, Bayyina, so sadly we have come to the end. We want to know if there's anything big coming up for you. I feel like there's a ton, and you kind of touched on it, but anything you want to promote, anything that you want us to know about? Yeah, it's a great question. I do have a book coming out. There's no pre-link yet or anything, but just like look out for it. I'm actually going to take this time to promote my friend's work. My friend Whitney McGuire. She is a phenomenal sustainability professional who has a community series called Sustaining Community. She just had an event this past Friday in Brooklyn, and it's awesome. I'm really excited for what she's doing and how it's going to grow. And I'm also going to be on a show soon that I can't mention yet, but link me on LinkedIn and you'll see it. I'm really, really excited about it. We shoot this Sunday.
So you can't give us any sort of clue, Bayyina.
I'll say that it is a really deep game. It's a questions game. Yeah, it's disguised as a game, but it's actually a really deep conversation.
Now I'm going to have to think about that after this. Trying to figure out what it is, but and
I
also
can tell you offline. I can tell you offline, so you won't be in the dark.
Yes. Thank you for kicking back with me, Bayyina.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun. I feel like there's going to be a ton more conversations offline because you shared so much. So I want to know more.
Yes, and I will tell you more. I am an open book. Thanks so much for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I hope we get to do this again soon.
Awesome.